And welcome back to the Monstrous Musings podcast, the most monster analysis podcast in the atmosphere. I'm once again roaming this earth with my good old buddy and pals, Brandon and Zachary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd suggest you stand a little bit further back from the microphone, but aside from that, hello.
Brandon, you couldn't do this before we started recording?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know how excited I would get.
I didn't expect them to say peas with that much ferocity.
So welcome back. This is most likely going to be the first episode back of season 2 on Monkey Business. So Monkey Business is the host channel for this lovely little show, and we're just gonna rock and roll. I have picked out an absolutely stunning creature to analyze today, and that's exactly what we plan on doing. So without much further ado, are you guys ready? I don't know if you could ever be prepared for what you're about to create and witness today.
I'm in gear, Andrew. My engine's
I'm
revved
fully
up.
ready to draw a stick man. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, so we're going to alter the formula a little bit, as these gamers already know, but the audience at home might not. I'm going to describe this creature. I might even give it a name, and then we're going to give them 5 minutes max to draw it. They can explain their drawing, and we'll see how close they were. The winner gets an entire corn dog at a later date.
That
7
sounds
years in
incredible.
the future. With every condiment available from the hot dog stand.
Nice.
No questions.
Real
All right, so let me just dive into that. If you're at home, you can giggle. You can know if you know the monster, but you just don't tell them, okay? So, the creature we're going to look at today is none other than the Tetranodon. Tetranodon. Okay? I'm going to give you a tiny little breakdown here, okay? This is what came up when I looked up on Wikipedia. The name derives from tetra, the Greek word for four. Rana, a genus of frogs, and don, which is often found in names of extinct creatures.
And Don Henley.
Now, there's
That's
two
Rhea.
incredible things, okay? I'll explain a little bit after, but most of the monsters from the Monster Hunter series, which this is one, come with a quick little title. This one is the Amphibious Wrestler. And they also come with a lovely little, I'm going to call it a poem. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's a soliloquy, maybe it's, what are the other things? A limerick, I don't know exactly, or a haiku. Maybe it's a haiku. Probably not. I'll have to check it out later. Anyway, are you ready for me to perform this?
On it.
They paid a good voice actor something for the game to do this, but you're stuck with me, okay? And my freshly moistened larynx. Okay. Floating in the water, it beckons silently. Once its prey approaches, there is no time to flee.
Your mic
What?
Yeah. When you do the pee, it's like you can tell you don't have a pop filter because it just goes.
Okay. If I back up, is it better?
Yeah. Try
do
again.
your peas a lot.
Yeah.
Try to
Don't aim the pee directly
Precious
at the microphone.
Banano player.
Yeah, it's better.
pee off to the side.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Pee in the bushes.
We'll restart. I don't know if it's a haiku. Here we go. Floating in the water, it beckons silently. Once its prey approaches, there is no time to flee. Gut and strength alike, rank among the greats. Don't get pushed out of the ring, for the abyss awaits. So those are your little prompts. I've painted a beautiful little picture here. I'm not going to give you colors, okay? And I'm not going to repeat anything. You have 5 minutes starting... I should have had the timer ready. To make a beautiful MS Paint drawing of the Tetranodon. Or Tetranodon. I don't know. Probably Tetranodon. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. We're back. The gamers have artisted. They've illustrated what they believe to be the Tetranodon. And we're going to start with Brandon. Brandon, please walk us through your artistic process and vision. I'd love to see where this came from. The image is up on screen, if I can do that.
Yeah. So initially you said it was amphibious, so I put some water. You said like that the prey have a hard time fleeing it or something. So I drew like a guy, and there's like some speed lines. That's what the black dots are. And he's kind of moving fast away, but he's moving even faster because you see his speed lines are longer.
Yeah.
You said he has a powerful gut, so I just drew him with like a beer belly.
Is that a belly button, that black thing, or is that like a birthing hole?
Nah, it's a belly. It's a belly button.
Okay.
It's a belly button. Yeah, it's the Tetranodon. So I wrote 4 and then Don, just to remind myself. I put like 4 little things on its tail just because initially I was gonna make his tail literally the number 4, but then I messed up the stem part and I didn't feel like hitting the undo button, so I just kind of left it that way and I added just like 4 little bits to his tail.
Yeah.
You said something about the ring, so I imagined the luchador, so I gave him a luchador mask.
I like that. I like that.
He one of his feet has a shoe on it, just because. You could envision the lore for that as maybe he found the shoe. I don't know.
That's pretty incredible.
The reason
I'm
he
big
has
fan.
a long neck is entirely arbitrary, but yeah, I think it works.
So I want to draw attention to one thing in particular. And I think this is safe because I wasn't planning on using this monster for another episode at any point. This is not the Tetranodon, but this is another monster from Rise, the Almudron, or Almudron or something. And Brandon's basically drawn it. It also has like a big hand thing for a tail with multiple things. It also has Ron in it, and it's mucky and lives in the water. So you know what? I'm tempted to give you some points for that. Not gonna lie.
From Brownadon.
We're gonna come back to some stuff like the Luchador mask. I like that a lot. Okay, Zach, I think.
Brandon,
it's your turn
can I just comment real
Yeah,
quick,
absolutely.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Its belly makes me really uncomfortable.
now. Yeah, me too. What a powerful
here's
belly.
my-
I like the speed lines. It's like it's coming right at me.
It's too fast. It's too furious. Here's my
Wow.
Tetris.
Wow. Oh man, Zach, I wanted to say, Brandon's is kind of like quadrupedal, right?
Yeah.
Yours is, I wouldn't even know what to say. What is 2 arms and a tail like crawling towards you?
It's
That's
like
what
a
a
merman.
Raw
horrific creature.
strength.
It's like a merman.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
don't
a
know.
big fan. So walk us through this process.
I heard the word wrestle,
Mm-hmm.
and my entire thought process was, let's put big arms on a fish. And then I remembered the word tetra, and I couldn't be bothered to add a lower half, so I put 2 little feet back there, little fins.
Oh god.
You know, it's like the T-Rex, but
Yeah.
the opposite. Instead of really small arms, it's got really small legs. How would this thing move around? Probably just like monkey its way around on its hands.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the limitedness of my thought process. I didn't get the color
I
though.
think you made something really special given the amount of time you're given. I do hate that it has fins that are like little baby feet sticking out of its like lower back. Yeah, no, but this is like a little merman. It reminds me of that Fortnite skin.
Oh, no.
But no, I love it. I think you absolutely captured the essence of what is monstrous and what is a little bit terrifying. If this crawled out of the murk at me, I would scream at the top of my lungs and then probably be ripped to pieces by those sharp claws and teeth.
I think if either of our drawings crawled out of the murk, I'd be terrified.
Yeah. Brandon's would belly stomp you, which is a fate worse than death.
I like to imagine Brandon's. The reason the neck is so long is so it's like a little periscope. Like its head comes out of the water and like zips around at high speeds in a lake.
Yeah, so these were both great, and I think considering the limited information you had, you built some wonderful creatures. So let's see how close they are to what we're actually looking at here. Let's see what we think.
Whoa. What is this?
Hey, it's a little bit different, isn't it? Okay, so he's
I like
very
it.
green.
It looks like a mossy platypus. Actually, it looks like a mossy platypus hippo.
Yeah. Oh, it does. Okay, so this is the Tetranodon. Okay, it basically lives in the. Oh, actually, I shouldn't make that up. Give me a second.
You're just gonna start making things up. Can't do that.
Yeah, we can't
invent
make
the
that.
lore.
It resides in the Shrine Ruins, the Frost Islands, and the Lava Caverns. I think it would have fit well in the flooded forest as well because it's all wet. But anyway, so he lives in the little lakes and blah, 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 he's a little gobbledygook. Let's break it down a little bit. Okay, so I think the easiest thing to approach these monsters first by, especially the Monster Hunter ones, is to find what animals they're showing. And so Brandon said platypus. I would absolutely agree. You know, he has that bill. That bill is very powerful. You know, like a duck, but they're duck-billed platypi, right? So, you know, what can you say? It's for foraging around, eating the gobbledygook, the muck at the bottom of the thing, right?
I see some crocodile in there too.
Yeah. What part screams crocodile to you?
If you go to slide 4,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like the silhouette of the top one, even on slide
Yeah.
5. It's like overall silhouette and kind of like underneath its what's the word? Underneath its mouth, kind of that texture.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a crocodile.
yeah. It is a little scaly. And frog is another big one.
Yep.
Frog is very big. So it is an amphibian. Out of those
Where's its
other
tongue,
things,
though?
right? What?
Where's its tongue though?
It's there. Look, you
It's
can
got
see
a
it
tongue.
inside one.
Yeah, but it's
And
not
two-
like it's not that large.
That's a human
Oh,
tongue.
you mean because frogs are... Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think just being green and amphibious and slimy,
And its
And-
its feet. Look at its feet. Its feet
Yeah.
are frog-like.
and it actually has a little tail. I think there's art of young tetranodons, which are more tadpole-like, which is incredible. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So, animal basis, something like that, something green: frog, platypus, duck, turtle. But what kind of ties those together is the kappa. So it's very much based on the kappa from Japanese folklore.
No, wait,
which-
my favorite Greek letter?
Yeah. Yeah. No kappa. It feels a little bit like obscure, but there's a lot based on it. Like it's a pretty big yokai
It's
or
a
whatever.
fairly
I guess.
well-known one.
Yeah. So, just quick Google amphibious yokai, demon, or imp found in traditional Japanese folklore. Typically depicted as green, human-like beings with webbed hands and feet and turtle-like carapace on their backs.
That's a little hat.
So that's exactly like his little fellow. Yeah, and he does have a little hat. He's a little cutie.
I wouldn't quite describe this thing as humanoid though.
Yes
Well,
and no. I mean, he is kind of bipedal, especially when he attacks. He throws his gut around. So, someone made a connection between kappa and sumo wrestling. Now, I've never heard that before. I'm also not Japanese and not well versed in Japanese folklore.
Believe
But
it or
this
not,
creature's-
monkey business lore. Andrew's not Japanese.
Yeah, Andrew's not Japanese. He's very much inspired by the sumo. It's a little bit tough to display in some still images here, but he throws his belly around. He swallows muck and sometimes players, and then slaps them around like that. He does the full stomp where he'll lean up on one leg and then come crushing down with the other, sending shockwaves towards you. It's a very sumo-like turtle demon thing.
That's kind of incredible.
Yeah, so in his stance, in his weight, in the way it moves, and I think it's incredible that someone sat down and said, "Let's make a turtle demon that's a sumo wrestler and make him really fat and shoot mud and water and have a really hard shell."
That's incredible.
What did you send me? I don't think we can show that. Brandon has just sent a questionable image of female kappa into the group chat. Holding a cucumber with a pigtail. Like a literal pig's tail on the end of the cucumber. Maybe it's a stem.
That's a
I don't know, maybe
cucumber
just
stem. I don't think that's a
toward
big
the just
This
toward
image
it.
is not going into the podcast. That's a Patreon exclusive. Wink. Yeah, these are all great. Yeah. So that's the basic inspiration there. He's a sumo wrestler. So before we go into other little parts of him, let's relate this back to what we talked about. So Brandon said a wrestler and put the luchador mask. So sumo wrestling is a type of wrestling. Do they wear luchador masks? No, but they wear that little strap thing, right? Like a loincloth. And sometimes, maybe. And they also wear like their hair up a bit. So, almost. It swims, it floats. I guess it's fast and powerful in the water, we don't see it swimming much. It's normally on land in the game and attacking you like that. Unlike other things like the Almadron that we just talked about, which does go in and under the ground. And it says don't get pushed out of the ring for the Abyss Awaits because it throws its weight around like a wrestler. So
Yeah,
are you
funny.
impressed?
I enjoy
Yeah, it's a
this
little
design very much.
I consider that to be a pretty impressive creature.
Getting vibe checked by the Tetranodon.
I really like
Wow.
slide 8. I've been entranced by this image.
Yeah. So, you know what? We can jump onto there now. Rise has leaned a lot into the kind of Japanese art style. I want to say calligraphy, but I know that's the way it's writing. Anyway, if you catch my flow, you don't. You do. If not, whatever. And so there's a big scrolling illustration, I'm going to say, because I don't have a better word for it.
A
That on
scrolling
every loading
JPEG.
screen. Yeah, scrolling JPEG. And it has, like, almost all, or as far as I can tell, all the new Rise monsters done in this really artistic style, and some of the returning ones. And this is, I had to find it online, take a screenshot. That's what the Tetranodon looks like. So I guess these are interesting because you simplify the most distinguishing elements, right? So you see its size; it's pretty rotund. And its little eyes and its little head thing, and it has those little sticky bits on its hands, and that's what's there. If you go up to slide 7, that's another one that's used for like the quest icons, and you see the same thing. It's very round. It has its little spikes, its little
90% belly.
Yeah, 90% belly, and it has a little beak. You know, if you cut out that belly, it would be a very bizarre. Actually, that's an incredible thing. Frogs kind of open up their mouths like you think of. At least in cartoons and stuff, think of a frog, kind of inflating not its mouth, but it's like throat pouch, right? That's a thing. And if you were to imagine a line from the bottom of the beak on this illustration down to near the knees, cutting out the belly, it would look pretty frog-like,
No way.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, Brandon?
So instead of a belly, it's just like a giant croaking.
Yeah, you know what? I think I could.
Yeah, I could see him falling all over on his fours and then ribbiting around,
What if this was like
He's very
pocket
round,
sized?
I'm impressed that they didn't make him roll. What?
So I like to imagine this little thing like, it's like less than a foot tall. Have it in like your backyard pond.
See, having small monsters is incredible and adorable. Yeah, I agree. I'd love to catch one of these in a jar and shake it.
Andrew would like to put this monster
let's
in a
go through
jar.
again. So they, yeah.
No, that was the end of end of idea.
Yeah, he So you can ride them. You can ride the monsters in this, not like Monster Hunter stories or whatever, but you can actually hop on them for a little while. So that's what it shows. There's the bugs holding him, and he goes around and goes blah blah blah. There's a tower defense mode called the Rampage in Monster Hunter Rise.
In Rise, is the tower defense mode?
This can't be.
Basically,
that's not allowed.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah, you kind of
I've never actually played a Monster Hunter
ballistas
game,
and
so.
cannons, and you protect the walls from a bunch of monsters that come in. And Tetranodon is a part of that. It's pretty early on because you see he's not super late in the game, and he's a wall breaking like one. That's his thing. He'll target the walls and he'll smash them with his big gut and whatever else. So
that sounds kind of cool.
That says a lot too. If we go to 3, we can see kind of an action shot of someone blasting something into its mouth.
Whoa, be careful, Andrew. Keep this PG.
Sorry, he's like blasting some purple fireball into the gaping maw of the Tetranodon.
Purple fireball.
Where are you?
Yes, what do you mean?
Slide 3.
Yeah, I know,
Slide
but I was about to make a comment about a purple fireball. 'Cause he must have been eating. He must have been eating a lot of potassium. Because if you mix, if you have like fire and then you put like potassium and stuff on it, it makes it purple.
Is potassium purple?
Yeah.
I don't think potassium's purple. It's.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, does it burn? It burns purple?
I could have sworn there was like some sort of, maybe you have to do a mixture involving potassium. And you put up a picture of potassium or like some sort of, put up a picture of a banana to represent potassium, and then put up a picture of fire, and then put up a picture of the banana on fire, and then put up a picture of the fire being purple.
Because of the banana.
Oh God, rest in peace, audio listeners.
Well, it could be a mental picture.
It could be a mental picture. I haven't looked much into like the mouth of a duck. I haven't opened a duck's bill and stuck my head in like, oh wow, it's incredible. Look, there's flesh. But I don't know if they have that stringy bit. Like what animal does that remind you of? Would that be like almost like an alligator again? Like where the back of the mouth is connected by these like big stringy, lean flesh.
That's kind of. I always think of dinosaurs when I see those things in the back of the mouth.
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
like the T-Rex.
And you know what? So maybe that is they're leaning into the dawn. Like Iguanodon, Tyrannosaurus a dawn.
Dawn.
Dawn
Henley.
Exactly.
Yeah, Donald Duck. I can't make the noises.
Donald.
Brandon has sent us a comprehensive list
fire burning
of
chart.
all 8 colors.
Every 8 color possible in real life.
The only 8 valid colors.
So if this one image with no source is to be believed, then Brandon is correct.
No, it's
that
from
purple
sciencenotes.org.
Oh yeah. WebMD.net.
It's been IEEE citation.
Yeah.
Brian will do
okay,
that for the
so-
video.
Cite that in MLA. Go on. I'm waiting.
Oh, man. We're gonna go on to slide 4 and 5. I like these because this is like some concept art that they put on their wiki. They had some other ones too of like older designs. I didn't want to bog us down too much with what it could have been, but
What it should have been.
what it was,
What it
should
will
have been.
be.
I don't think it should be different at all. I love that it's patterned. Seeing its belly here, I feel like I don't see it that often in game that it has little design and color on it. But
It's very
I
frog-like.
thought about it. I like the frilled tail. Really reminiscent of the tadpole, and it's kind of lovely. Slide 6 shows a little art of it for, I think, the mobile game, which is kind of adorable. One of the mobile games, I guess. I don't know. I don't play them. That's all right. If you're a mobile gamer, shout out to you. I like that the grass and moss grows off of it too. What that kind of indicates to me is that it isn't, it doesn't move and roll around and go crazy all the time. Like, yes, it's camouflage, but also think of like a large boulder with moss growing off of it, right? If I were to go live in the forest and run around on all fours
This is
most
what you
days,
look like.
yeah, and I never rub my back on trees or anything, I would probably grow things on there. I think that's just how it goes. I'm sure the shell is also helpful to that because it has little holes and stuff.
No way.
And then 9 is they have the training dummy in game is kind of modeled after it. There are a couple big differences. One being that it shoots out its neck sometimes to attack. I don't know. I haven't fought this training dummy a lot. I just thought that it was worth noting the significance of this beast, that it be
What an incredible beast.
the model for it. Yeah, and it was also one of the first ones revealed. I remember I was there. I was actually there when they
When the guy
revealed
first drew it on his sketchbook, and when he decided, well, this is indeed a monster.
A monster.
Yeah.
I was actually upstairs. I was in Kyoto, and I was bathing in that vat of like green liquid. Like they made the Joker back in the day.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, society, and I got so frustrated. I shook around and I smashed the floor of my green hot tub, and
Sorry.
and from the bottom of the tub, the floor broke, and the entire tub with me covered in this green liquid fell on top of a small Japanese man who at the time was working for Capcom designing the Pteranodon, and he said, "Oh my god!" And that was it. So I'm
Yeah.
the inspiration.
Yeah,
is what I'm
exactly.
trying to say.
Andrew,
The,
Andrew is the Tetris.
Yeah.
man of
Instead of
Yeah, my
becoming
soaking
the
wet
yeah.
body slapping through the floor, covered in gelatin. That's just what he thought about.
Instead of
He had
becoming the
like a-
Joker, he just grew a tail, and the number 4 kind of appeared on his back, and so that's how the guy came up with the fact that it should be a Tetranodon instead of a
Yeah.
Pentranodon. Pentadon? A Pentadon?
Pentadon.
A Heptadon?
So I don't know where
hexagon.
4 comes in. Like I know Tetra means 4. Okay, I understand that. I don't know why it has to be called that though.
Maybe
I
don't-
Four limbs.
maybe
Is
he
it
likes
the
the
fourth
number 4.
monster? Maybe, but not necessarily.
Maybe,
'cause there's a little bit of choice.
Maybe
It has 4 fingers,
yeah,
if you can call them that.
that's
It also
possible.
has a webbed feet. I'm just noticing that's incredible. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
know
frog.
exactly where the 4 comes from, but it does.
That's kind of cool.
I wonder if there's a name.
When you think about it.
History.
They're known to swallow large amounts of gravel, which causes their belly to inflate to enormous proportions. In their bloated state, Tetranodon become very sluggish, yet their attacks become more powerful, capable of shattering the earth with a stomp. Wow. Incredible.
Kind of like the what's it called from Monster Hunter World? The first one you fight.
The Jagras?
Great Jagras.
Yes, I
Where
would
it
agree.
just eats something. It goes. "Vroom."
Yeah, we don't watch him eat anything in this, and he's much more amphibious, but I do agree. I do agree that there are some similarities there with... So maybe, I don't know, maybe someone at Capcom just likes it when the monster eats a lot of food or becomes more rotund and swings its belly around. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit funnier, potentially, than the farting monsters that exist that we haven't gotten into yet. So,
They're horrible.
yeah,
The
there are some
pissing
horrible
monsters.
farting monsters, of which Brandon knows one, and one kind of made its way into Rise, but it's a covert farter, which is a lot better for all of us. So
Nice.
that's basically what I had here. This is absolutely an amphibious rustler. You know, a beautiful sumo-like kappa. So many cursed kappa photos. This is incredible. I might put a
Kappa
little compilation
compilation.
image at the end. Yeah, or you know. So what do you think? Are you living a better, more fulfilled life now that you've been introduced to the Tetranodon?
I think
I
now,
enjoy it.
yeah, I think now I've gained all the experience that Monster Hunter can give me, based on this one sole image.
Yeah. That's a really powerful statement, Brendan.
Brandon's absorbed the essence of Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
I think that's fair, though. To have it, yeah. And you know what? Much like this guy will absorb you. He'll suck the player in. He'll jiggle his belly around. You'll be completely defenseless till he spits you
will
out.
he jiggle his belly around or the belly of the player? It's,
Why not both?
I think the jiggling of his belly causes you to jiggle, your belly being a part of you. So I think it's a double jiggle situation.
it's kind of incredible.
So I really wanted to share this because I've been really into Rise recently. I played through most of the village quests, and I'm working on the hub ones with a brother who I'm trying to get into Rise. And I just loved it. I look forward to fighting this guy. I like his duck-billed thing. You know, he doesn't have a hammer associated with him, but some of his blades, you know, really take inspiration from the shell or the beak, which is lovely. And I thought it was a great way to jump back into the podcast. So, we'll be back again. Hopefully not too long from whenever this comes up. And I have all sorts of other beautiful monsters up my sleeve. Let us know if you liked the drawing. I think that was fantastic. I think we had a lot of little fun. You know, maybe we'll even up the time a tiny bit so you get a little bit of color in there. We'll see. And that's just how it goes. You know, now you've seen 2 monsters, Brandon. And Zach, too, has been
Whole
introduced to
2.
1.075 monsters. Because I think you knew about the Nargacuga before. And unlike the Nargacuga, the Tetranodon is new to the series, you know. He's less than a year old, you know. Poor little king. And who knows? Maybe he'll be a recurring character. Seeing things like the dummy modeled after him leads me to believe that he will actually be recurring. You know, that he'll make his appearance back in some other games. You know, something you can slap early-ish in the game. You know, a roadblock to those who can't handle being swallowed by a swamp creature.
Put people off the game
Yeah,
by the swamp creature.
that's the deal breaker. You can fight the monster, you can eat the monster, you can wear the monster, but the second you
Wear
get
the
eaten by the
monster.
monster instead, that's where I draw the line.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, that is in fact no bueno. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Zach and Brandon. We hope to see you soon. You know, continue monstering, continue being what is it? Not deviant. Oh, give me a second. I need to
Devious?
think of this word.
It's called a deviant.
Oh, continue being a monstrous menace to society, and we'll see you next time.
I don't have.
No, I'm joking. There's many more creatures to analyze, and we
Including
got our little feelers out as we're speaking. Once again, beautiful cursed Kappa images right here, right here. And I'll treat you early. You know, how about you take a look at this once again? This lovely illustration that Zach has done.
Whoa.
Wow, with more than 5
way.
minutes, that's incredible. Oh my golly
Look at all
goodness.
the color.
You should maybe also include a picture of a piece of salami in a sandwich. I think I'd enjoy that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this guy omnivorous? I can't even tell.
I'd hope so. It's a monster. If you have a vegetarian monster, that's not even fun. It's not cool.
I don't know. It seems that those words don't seem to come up on the wiki. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the Monstrous Musing Podcast. I've been Andrew. This is
Zach.
and this is
Brent.
and that one is
The Nargacuga. Oh, wait, no shit.
who's the last fella?
The Tetranodon.
It's fine. It's good. It's alright.
It's alright.
Yeah.
We're over it, collectively.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.